Divorce ended up being officially filed
1
by
year
her
ago.
in, like I said, January. I sent Milena a 50-50 offer down the middle in April of that year. She did not accept it. I did not know what she wanted out of this divorce until mediation, which was actually in November.
What the
and
fuck?
essentially what she wanted was the same thing she wanted in trial, and that's what we have here. I warned Milena that trial would be very expensive. It would cost hundreds of thousands of dollars, but still we had to go to trial, and you'll see why. So bear with me now. We are going to go into some legal documents. What I have here is what they call Milena Nmplol's First Amendment disposition of issues. So this is essentially what she wanted. I'm going to read the document to the best of my ability because I can't read very well, but I'm going to explain things so everyone can kind of understand what she wanted.
Wait, is that real?
Went down. Keep in mind, we each had this. This one's hers. This one's mine. We'll go over mine, but first let's do hers. Hers is a bit longer. The first thing she wanted, and by the way this works is it's essentially a line with like for a check mark and then the thing that they wanted. So the first thing that she wanted was to grant the divorce between the parties on the grounds of insupportability. This is very important, and I'm explaining exactly what that means right now. In Texas, a divorce can be granted on the grounds of insupportability, which is the state's no-fault divorce ground. The Texas Family Code defines insupportability.
What does that mean? Like, you don't support your wife? Like what? Conflict or personalities between the spouses that destroy the remains of marriage.
Supportability as a conflict or discord of personalities between the spouses that destroys legitimate ends of the marriage relationship and prevents any reasonable expectation of reconciliation. In practical terms, it means neither spouse has to prove wrongdoing. No evidence of adultery, cruelty, abandonment, or other fault is required. The court only needs to find that the marriage has become unworkable and that reconciliation is not reasonably expected. So you can file divorce on other grounds, and I'll explain what those are. Cruelty. You can file for adultery, which didn't happen. Conviction of a felony, abandonment, living apart, etc. She filed on the grounds of insupportability. Next. Award Milena Nmplol a disproportionate shares of the party's estate for the following reasons, including but not limited to. So she wanted more than 50-50. Respondent's economic and financial abuse of the petitioner. Respondent's failure to permit access to the party's community property accounts, including for purposes.
Wait, okay. So, did she think like? Did she think like basically? Did she think she carried his dreams? Therefore, she needed more than. I mean, it's like. Okay, so she was doing the streams with him, right? So 50-50, let's say. But she was also doing like chores like around the house, right? Probably like food, stuff like that. So she was probably doing more than him, right? If she was doing that. But if she was not, she can be lying, right?
Of insight and access to such community funds, benefits the innocent spouse may have derived from continuation of the marriage, disparity of earning power of the spouses and their ability to support, earning power, business opportunities, capacities, and the ability of the spouses, nature of the property involved in the division, waste, and attorney's fees to be paid. So to explain that, the judge, in order to grant Milena her disproportionate share, would have to find something that fits those sort of grounds. Any of those bullet points that I read off. Next, confirmation of Milena Nmplol's separate property as outlined in the attached spreadsheet, meaning that there's an attached spreadsheet here that has her own property in it. Makes sense. Next, order Milena Nmplol's waste claim for Nicholas Michael Palm's excessive expenditures. That was over $100,000 they had claimed against me. The next thing she wanted, and this is one of the reasons for waste claim.
Order Milena Nmplol's waste claims for Michael's excessive expenditures.
For Nicholas Michael Palm's excessive expenditures. That was over $100,000 they had.
So he wasted money, so she wanted those money?
We had to go to trial. Order Milena Nmplol.
Request for post-divorce maintenance for a period of 5 years. $5,000 per month? Are you crazy? Bro, You fucking loser. Why would he do that
request
for
for
you?
post-divorce maintenance for a period of 5 years
5
from
years.
February 1st, 2026 in the amount of
Is that a
$5,000 a
lot?
month. So she wanted me to pay her
That is a lot.
$5,000 a month for 5 years. We don't
Yeah,
even
that's
have
crazy.
kids. Next. And this
Yeah,
was
that's crazy.
the biggest one, the most
What?
important one, and it's going
What
to
a
take some time
loser.
to explain
Okay,
it because
no.
this is also why we
I
really
need
had
to
to
be
go
on
to
his
trial.
side. That's
Order
disgusting.
Milena
Why?
Midtoy
Like, that's when you have kids. Why would he pay you for staying at home, you lazy bitch? What? We granted a judgment to use specific language securing such instances against the share and stock. Of course, held. Of course. She wanted the stock, right?
Palm be
Fuck you,
granted a
bitch.
judgment against Nicholas Michael Palm with specific language securing such entrance against the shares
Surely no
and
judge
stock
approved
held
that,
by
right?
Nicholas Michael Palm with his interests in OTK Ventures,
Did he win
OTK
though?
Media, and King.
Wait, based on the comments, he lost. He didn't win. 60K a year for 5 years.
She wanted a 60-40 split of the entire estate, but it was a little bit
Okay.
more complicated than that. What she wanted to do essentially was
That's weird
have
and
her
disgusting. Why?
60% be all cash and my 40% be heavily weighted in my OTK shares. She wanted about
Yeah.
90% of the cash reserves, plus she wanted me to pay her this post-divorce maintenance, and my 40% would be essentially all in my OTK shares, which no one really knows what those are worth. This was the biggest point of contention in the trial for me. I don't think anyone would have accepted the offer that was presented in front of them. Essentially would drain me to 10% cash reserves,
disgusting.
be in debt a whole bunch of money. So I would put a lot of trust in those OTK shares being worth something someday. So that is just about half of the document. And I don't know if I should say this, but now it gets kind of funny, and I'm going to explain to you why. Up next is a section called income taxes, and let me read this for you. Order that any refunds received from the date of marriage through the date of divorce be divided equally by the parties, with Milena Midtoy being entitled to 50% and Nicholas Michael Pollan being entitled to 50%. So if there was a tax refund, she will get half of it, I will get half of it. Makes sense, right? Order any liability from the date of marriage to the date of divorce be paid solely by Nicholas Pollan. So if there was a tax bill, I would have to pay for all of the taxes. But if there's a refund, Milena would get half of it. Order that the parties file separate tax returns.
That is funny. Holy fucking disgusting loser.
And partitions as
Malin Tudi. Oh, there she is. Oh, she hasn't posted in 30 years. Oh no. Crazy.
I actually
January
played
1st, 2026, and each party be liable for their own respective taxes for 2026 and each awarded respective returns for 2026. Makes sense to me. Up next, injunctions. And this is where it gets a little bit confusing. I'll try my best to explain it for everyone. Order Nicholas Michael Pollan be restrained and enjoined from making any public statements, whether written, verbal, or visual, regarding the ongoing litigation and the parties' divorce, unless mutually agreed upon in writing by the parties and filed with the court. So that essentially says that me, and you notice her name's not there, but me and me alone can't talk about it. And then the next line is, strictly in the event the court
But she hasn't posted in since 2024 anyway, so
does not grant the requested permanent injunction.
If the court does not grant the requested injunction, Melina requests the court after trial on the merits to grant the following permanent injunctions enjoining the parties, their agents,
Milena Midtoy Pollan requests the court after trial on the merits to grant the following permanent injunctions.
But is this in the event the court does not grant the... Oh, if she doesn't get the permanent, the 5,000 per month,
enjoining the
right?
parties, their agents, servants, employees, and attorneys. So pretty much everyone involved is the following injunction. Directly or indirectly disseminating, publishing, or causing to be published, or directly or indirectly requesting a person disseminating or publishing any letter, story, statement, correspondence, description, or depiction of any kind whatsoever, including on any social media, whether fictionalized or not, which is or could be reasonably interpreted to be disparaging, negative, or defamatory in its description of the other party's personal, professional, private, or family life, including without limitation the business or the financial affairs of the other party. So essentially, anyone involved with me whatsoever could not talk about this divorce. Spoiler,
Yeah,
that did not get granted because obviously we're talking about it now. I'll explain why that didn't get granted because
that's
essentially
actually
that's an
yeah. Like, why would you speak? Why would you not be able to speak about it? Like, if you're not
infringement
defaming the
on
other
my First
person,
Amendment
right?
right
Like,
to the Constitution of the United States of America, which is freedom of speech.
yeah,
Milena Midtoy-Palom
yeah.
requests the court order Nicholas Michael Palom to pay reasonable attorney's fees, expenses, and costs through trial and appeal, and a judgment should be rendered in favor of Milena Midtoy-Palom against Nicholas Michael Palom and be ordered to pay directly to Milena Midtoy-Palom. Milena Midtoy-Palom request post-judgment interest as allowed by law. Also,
So she was basically take whatever you
it
can.
says Milena Midtoy-Palom requests the court deny
That's
any and all
crazy,
of
bro.
Nicholas Palom.
Bro, like this looks really like. I mean, okay, it's his video, so maybe he's making this look like this, but this look like very pity from him. It's like she not have any, how is it called? What is the word I'm looking for? I'm not say, I don't know. I want to say like gentle, but like she literally said like, okay, I'm gonna take whatever I can from you, mom.
Requested relief filed with the court. So that's a lot. I'll explain quickly what she wanted. She wanted a 60-40 split because of her reasons listed. She wanted me to pay her $5,000 a month for 5 years. She
Yep,
wanted the majority of my part of the
actually
split to
founds.
be locked up in my OTK shares. She wanted me not to be able to talk about the case whatsoever.
Yeah,
She wanted the things about
that's crazy.
taxes. She also
Tax, yeah.
wanted me to
Tax
pay her
refund,
lawyer
then you
fees.
need to
So,
pay.
what did I
Yeah.
want? Let's get into it. It's not going to be as long as what she wanted, so we'll keep it plain as possible. I'll read it as is, just like I did with hers. Number one,
All right.
grounds of divorce. Nicholas Michael Palm requests that the court be granted a divorce on the
So
grounds
the
of
same. Okay.
insupportability. There's that word
The
again,
same. Okay.
insupportability. This is the
Yeah, the
only
same.
thing that we agreed upon in the entire case, which is good. It really is. Next, division of community
is.
property. Nicholas Michael Palm requests that the court divide the community estate in a manner that the court deems just in right as provided by law and set out in Exhibit A attached hereto. So Exhibit A is essentially a exhibit with spreadsheets, and it ends up being a
Bro, this, oh my God, I'm just thinking about this would be like another, like, so many incels now, bro, because of these cases, bro, like, because of these retarded women that, like, they just make like, women look better now. Now incels will be like, oh, look, women, bro, they just want to take everything from you. When it's just, like, one person, like, so, like,
50-50 split down the middle. Stocks, shares, cash, everything. Next, separate property. Nicholas Michael Palm requests that the court confirm and assign his separate property to Nicholas Michael Palm as set out in Exhibit A, attached here. Everything. 50
was,
attached here down the
okay,
middle. So Exhibit A in right as exhibit with spreadsheets, and it ends up being a 50-50 split down the middle. Deems
wait, you didn't show Exhibit A, though.
stocks, share,
Okay.
A attached here too. So my stuff is my stuff. Milena also had
Okay.
her stuff. Her stuff is her stuff, which makes sense to me. Next, waste and reconstitution. Nicholas Michael Palm requests the court to find that Milena Midtoy Palm has committed waste on the community and to reconstitute what ought be the actual existing value of the estate as a part of the court's just and right division of the community estate as set out in Exhibit A attached here too. So just the waste claim, essentially she had one against me, so I had one against her. I'm not trying to get into the gritty details of that. Next, attorney's fees. Order Milena Midtoy Palm
Pay portion of the Nicolam or the fees and rendering a judgment against Kierkegaard, Davis, blah blah blah. Okay, and order Melina to pay such judgment directly to Stephen Payne, who enforced the judgment with post-judgment interest as allowed by the law. I have no idea what
A
this
portion of
means.
Nicholas Michael Palm's
Is it each other pays their
attorney
fees?
fees,
Is
expenses,
that
and costs, rendering
what
a
it
judgment
says?
against Milena Mintoy Palm in favor of Kirker Davis LLP, attorneys for Nicholas Michael Palm, and order Milena Mintoy Palm to pay such a judgment directly to Stephen W. Payne and Kirker Davis LLP, who may enforce the judgment in attorney's own name with post-judgment interest as allowed by law. Attorney's fees. And
portion.
then my last thing that I asked for, request for Milena Mintoy Palm. Nicholas Michael Palm requests that all relief requested by Milena Mintoy Palm be denied. So
Relief. Like the tax relief, or is that?
essentially what I'm asking for in this is a clean 50-50 split down the middle, just like I wanted back in April and March of
I don't know if
2025.
that says that.
What we have
to be
here
honest.
is the court's ruling. This is what everyone's been waiting for.
Hold up a second.
So let's just go ahead and get right into it. Dear counsel, from January 12th, 2026 to January 13th, 2026, the court presided over this case and took it under advisement.
The ruling. Oh shit, this is exciting.
Of the court is as follows. Divorce is granted on the grounds of insupportability.
Both agreed. Okay.
It's good. That's what I wanted. That's what Milena wanted. It's a no-fault divorce. Next,
But-
division of community property.
Oh, 50-50. Nice.
50% to Mr. Palm and 50% to Miss Palm, with the exception of King's Gaming Lab.
Okay, is that like his what is it? Is that like a basis of it? Yes?
Starforge, ordered to be
Oh, Starforge. Is that shares then? So they sell the shares and split them 55 to Miss Palm. So she has 55%.
split
Okay.
55% to Miss Palm and 45% to Mr.
That's
Palm.
fine, no?
The court finds that the disproportionate share of those funds are
Okay, that makes sense because this he was he had the stream, right? And she was like his worker
warranted
or
due,
something like
number
that.
one, the disparity of the earning power. Number two, nature of the property
Yeah,
involved.
okay.
And three,
makes
waste.
sense.
So let me explain before everyone gets all excited what that means. I have a very
Okay.
small ownership in Starforge. She gets 5% more than I do. And if you do the math,
Yeah.
it ends up being about 15K. If you remember during Milena's
Okay.
disposition of issues, she had asked
Right.
for a 60-40 split because of things like economic and financial abuse of the petitioner. She did not get that. The community estate was essentially just 50-50 split down the middle, with
Yeah,
the
I
exception
saw that.
of Starforge, which is
That's fair,
about a
that's fair.
$15,000 extra towards Milena. And it makes sense to me. I will probably earn
Yeah,
more than her
fair.
going forward, and that seems pretty fair to me. Up next,
Yes,
and this is very,
exactly.
very, very important because it has to do with my shares. Nick and Nmplol are designated as constructive trustee for Miss Palm's.
Nick and Nmplol. So they're okay. Him and his streaming person. Okay. Constructive trustee. What does that mean? According to the is a person who holds legal title to property, but is legally compelled to transfer it to the rightful owner because retaining will result in unfair or illegal gain. To prevent unjust enrichment or address a breach of trust. I don't get it. So if you have something, you need to give it to the other person or what?
So what that means, I don't have to
Tell us.
send her my shares. I don't have to send her cash for the shares.
Yeah.
I will hold
Okay.
her shares in my name until they're sold, if and when they're sold. So that
Oh,
was
okay, that
a
makes sense.
big, big, big deal for me.
There we go.
Doesn't put me in generational debt, and you know, if they sell, they sell. Up next,
Okay.
attorney's
Sure.
fees denied.
Oh, there it is. Oh, based. Okay, good.
Each
Perfect.
party pays their own attorney's fees.
Perfect.
Motion to
Fair.
seal the court records. denied.
Not speak about it, yeah.
Injunctions, denied. Post-divorce
Oof.
maintenance, denied.
Holy shit. Okay, he won
That
then.
means
I mean, all those claims are crazy. Like, come in. To be honest, they were crazy. Like, why? What they like? You don't have kids. If you have kids, sure, that's you pay normal whatever fees. You don't even have kids, and you want 5 years to just stay and do nothing. Like,
not being able to
what?
talk about the case was denied, and the $5,000 a month for 5 years that Milena wanted
And the fees.
was also denied. She
That's
did not
huge.
get that.
That's huge.
Each party
That's
is
huge.
to keep credit card in its debt in their own name. Each party to keep
Okay.
household furnishings in their possession. So all this stuff in this house is mine. All the stuff in hers is hers. Each party to
Yeah.
keep their jewelry and personal items. So for example,
Yeah.
that necklace that I wore, I get to keep. Pokemon card collection to be
Okay.
divided equally. Mr. and Mrs.
All right,
Pollum
fair.
to each keep their own online skins. Magic the Gathering card collection
What? Not the skins.
to be divided equally. The Super 73 bike is awarded to Miss Pollum. Each party to keep
Oh.
ownership of
-1
their
bike.
own social media accounts. 2023 Cadillac Escalade is awarded to Miss
Oh,
Pollum.
-1 car.
2021 Nissan GTR is awarded to me.
Oh, one car. Okay.
So
fair.
that was the court's ruling. To summarize,
Oh, it's fair, right?
it was essentially
think.
the same exact offer that I had offered her back in March and April of 2025, with the exception
Yeah.
of the extra
And now probably they are appealing, right? Because if she doesn't like it.
15K. This court case lasted well over a year. It cost over $400,000 in lawyer fees,
Jesus
expert
Christ.
fees, and in my opinion, most of it was unnecessary. But I had
It was. But Jamalina, you fucking retard. You just wasted 400K. Like, yeah. But just think about it. Like, bro, why would you not be good faith after spending like 5 years with the person you love, or whatever the fuck they will make? Like, what are they, like 10 years? Something? I mean, how much? And why would not be like, you can just solve this, 50-50, bam, bam, just solve it as soon as possible, and be done with each other. Like, why would you want to take his life away from him? Like, it sounds crazy.
to go. I had no choice. If I was to continue to
had no choice
stream
indeed.
through everything, people would have been harassing me about it the entire time, like they did when I first started. And I do believe
Yeah.
that me not streaming was the quickest way to come to a conclusion with this divorce. So there was a lot of rumors
Fire.
and things that kind of spawned from this case because documents were leaked and people made up their own theories and ran with them. I could sit here and diffuse all of them. It'd be pretty easy because none of them were true. But honestly, I got the ruling that I wanted, and I'm not going to do that. I might mention them on the podcast with Chance, where we can do it in a less informal environment.
Chad.
But that's essentially kind of what happened. That's the story.
All right.
That's where I've been. You know, it really does suck that things ended up this way with me and Milena. We spent well over 10 years together. It just ended up being that way. It's the road that
So
we had
10
to
years.
walk, and it's over. There was a whole bunch of different dramas and things that happened behind the scenes that people would find really interesting, but I'm not trying to throw any shade at anybody or at this point. If I don't have to talk about that, I
Don't
won't.
do it, don't do it.
Speaking for me emotionally, this whole thing has been quite stressful. There's been so many things said about me that just aren't true. It was somewhat exhausting. And once I got this ruling, I literally broke down and cried. Like I was like sobbing tears, that it was
Jesus.
finally over. This actually happened back in January when we finally got the ruling. But lawyer stuff, it took until last month for it to actually be over. I wish Milena and her family the best. I have no ill will towards them. Hopefully things go well for them, and I'm just ready to get back to
Jesus.
work. I want to give this another try, see if I can still do it. So that's the summary. Again, if you have any questions, you know where to find me. Thanks for watching, and fuck you. There's only one winner when it comes to
Why say that
divorce court.
again?
It's the lawyers, because
The
they're
lawyers.
walking away with $400,000 of me and Melena's money, and they
For
could
free.
not give two fucks about us.
Wait,
All
isn't
right.
is it 400K each? That's insane. What is people saying? Thank God Kachi did not get split in half. Say, what part would Nick chose? Lawyers are the real winners, so I haven't been seeing any of this, but thank you. Monetize it, get some money back. I mean, I don't know how much money you get for fucking video, but okay. 60K a year for 5 years. Exactly. That's crazy.